My name is Andrew, and this is Rogue Wrenching. Welcome back to Power Stroke Rescue, episode number 5. Today, we are going to be attempting to start the engine that is in the truck right now. So if you are just joining us, there are previous episodes 1, 2, 3, and 4, obviously, in this series. And today, we've got the new to me, the used engine is set in. We got to finish bolting it up, bolt the torque converter up, bolt on the grounds, and all that sort of stuff. And then we need to finish pumping the fuel tank, because it's got the old diesel from years and years, like 6 or 7 years old diesel. So we've got to finish pumping the tank. I've got a couple of new jugs back there, of fresh diesel to go into it. So we're going to finish pumping the tanks and then get fresh diesel into it and change the fuel filter and see if we can get this thing to start. So it should be pretty straightforward from here. We just got a couple of bolts that we got to do as far as finishing bolting the engine in to make sure that it runs like it should, and then we're going to crank this thing and see if it'll fire up. So that's kind of the summary of where we're going today. I'm going to do my best to kind of film while I'm working. It's just me today. I don't have a helper today. So we're going to do what we can before we lose the light. It's already kind of low in the sky, as you can kind of see. Anyways, we're going to do what we can, and let's get going. Okay, so the first thing I'm going to do here is I'm going to run this Keon engine off on-demand self-test. So this is going to basically system test all of the circuits on the truck, and we'll see what we get. So it's going to go through, you should hear some clicks from under the hood. Hear the AC clutch going, a bunch of other stuff that it's self-testing. So it's basically, what this is doing right now is it's working its way through a self-test. So the PCM is self-testing all of the circuits that it can test with the engine off. So what this is going to tell us is right out of the gate if there's anything that's going to cause us a problem that'll prevent a start before we even have to crank it. So depending on the results that come back from this test, we'll see what we get. Okay, so right out of the gate, intake air temperature sensor circuit high. That's this P0113. That's to be expected because the intake air temperature sensor is not plugged in because the intake is off. And then we've got a P1000 because it has not run through all of its checks. So nothing in here tells us that it's not going to start. Let's go over here to the data logger. This is going to be all of our PID data. We're going to go powertrain and then engine. Okay, so what I have here is a saved file. That would be this 6-liter start file that I've created. That's all the common PIDs that cause a no start. So we've got, up at the top, we've got FICM sync, regular sync, battery voltage, engine coolant temperature sensor, engine oil temperature, FICM voltage, FICM power, intake air temp, ICP sensor, IPR percentage, all the happy stuff that we need to have there. All right, here we go. All systems are on. This might crank, it might not. Started, then stalled. This is good. I can deal with the start and stall. Starter sounds good. Alright, that feels okay. We only have a minute or two here before it's too hard on the engine. Go power balance. Not good for it. Cylinder 2's got a dead miss. We're gonna go ahead and power off. Ooh. That's a lot of smoke. We're gonna key up again. We're gonna check, make sure nothing under here is on fire. Nothing's on fire. All right. So now what we're going to do is we're going to go ahead and do a relative compression test. So we're going to hit the X on that. We're going to toolbox, and we're going to go to relative compression. That's right below power balance. We know cylinder 2 was a problem. Here we go. Cranking rhythm sounds pretty good. This will tell us for sure, though, if it's any good. All right, cylinder 7 is actually a little bit low, but cylinder 2 is good. That's the one we were worried about. So it's a little bit concerning that cylinder 7 is so low. I think we're going to start it, let it run for a second, and then try it again. Let's go back over here to our power balance. Key up. Truck start. All right, number 2 is still dead. I'm gonna go check for no blow by at all back in there. That is fantastic. He's running. All right, so 2 is still a dead miss. We're gonna key off. All right, and then we're gonna go over here, hit the X, and then we're gonna go over to relative compression. We're going to retest. So wide open throttle and, oh shoot, hang on, we don't have battery power for this. Cranking rhythm sounds good. Cylinder 7 is up to 7% down instead of 8% down. So we've improved slightly. So I think we're gonna not worry about that as far as compression goes. Let's go over here to, let's do a quick engine. We'll do an injector electrical self-test. Let's see what this tells us. Okay, electrical self-test passed. So what is going on with number 2? It's got good compression. Number 2 injector looks like it might be stuck. That's problematic. Now, let's go inspect number 2 injector. Quick check, nobody here is on fire. Number 2 injector is going to be this front one. I don't see a problem there, but we did have a glow plug issue on that injector, so that might be on that hole, but we have good compression. I'm not going to worry about it terribly. The injectors seem to be working okay, because even stone cold, they sound all right. All right, one final test before we call it good. I'm going to start it, and we're going to see if this thing can move under its own power. Here we go. Truck starts right up, goes into reverse, moves backwards, moves forwards. Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, dude, that sounds fabulous. All right, folks, there you have it. This thing runs. It sounds good. The bottom end is solid. I've got low compression on number 7, but it's really low and it came up a bit after running, so I'm not really worried about it. I'm going to assume dry hole or worn out or something's not happy with it. As far as the number 2 dead mist, I'm thinking that's probably going to be an injector. I'm not 100% sure at this moment. Sorry, I thought I saw fire. I think number 2 dead hole is probably going to be an injector issue. I'm not sure at this point. I'm probably not going to replace that injector yet. I'll probably, when I take it apart, move that injector over to the next hole, so when we put it all back together, we'll be able to tell if that injector is in fact the problem or if there's another problem. But to kind of summarize and wrap up, the truck starts, the truck runs, the truck moves forward, the truck moves back. So, okay. Anyways, the truck starts and runs. With the current engine, we are going to tear this down and do head gaskets and all the stuff we were going to do to the other engine, but for right now, the truck starts and moves under its own power, which is pretty darn cool. So I'm very excited. We're going to wrap this, all clean up my whole mess that I've made over here and pack this truck up and then come back to this when I have a little more money. I'm working on another project car right now, which I might or might not do a video on. I've got a 99 Integra we're doing a head gasket on, but I'm not sure if we're going to do a video on that one. Anyway, all that being said, I'm not sure when we're going to get to the rest of this project, but for right now the truck starts and we can build a list of the parts that we need. So I am super pumped about that. Thank you guys so much for watching till the end. If you like this video, give it a thumbs up so it can spread to more people. And if you're excited to see more 6-liter or Power Stroke Rescue content, definitely subscribe so you can see that when it comes out. Anyways, that's all I've got for you fine folks tonight. I hope you enjoyed this video and we'll see you guys in the next video.